Hi, welcome to addingitallup. I'm Sarah Walker. I talk about debt and all kinds of things on my channel here. But I really talk about debt because I really believe that in the next coming year, you guys are going to see a lot of things happen with the debt just because the interest rate did go up. Currently, right now, prime is at 7.5 as I film this video. I'm sure there'll be a new one that comes out here shortly in about 15 days or so. But I kind of wanted to go over like how to actually start to get out of debt. If you guys like this type of content, please like, subscribe. I'm going to talk about my debt journey. I joke that my debt journey is like a yo-yo diet. Yes, it's bad. So I get out of debt, I get back into debt. I get out of debt, I get back into debt. It's like, you know, it's just not a great thing, right? So I wanted to basically give you guys the tools, and then you will see, I'll be putting a video out here tomorrow that basically talks about how much debt I am in and what I'm going to do about it. So I wanted to give you the tools. So there are seven steps. So 7 steps, okay, that I say is really good for you to basically do in order to get out of debt. How does this work? But Sarah, I don't even know where to start. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get down exactly how much debt you have and how much you owe. Now, guys, it's okay. Things happen. It comes in the mail. You figure it out later. You realize that, oh, that should have been in my debt. It's okay. You can always add to it when you first start because sometimes you don't know where you're at. I mean, medical bills, stuff like that, they add up pretty quick and you don't really realize, oh, did I owe that to that doctor? So you will see in my debt journey, I do know I have a bill outstanding to my doctor. I'm not sure how much it is yet. So I'm just waiting for that bill to come in because the insurance company still hasn't paid it. So when you guys see my debt journey, it's not in there yet. So, and it's a big bill that I know I'm getting because I had to do a whole bunch of testing last month. So the first thing you need to do is you need to write down your debt and how much the interest is at each debt and what your minimum payment is. So it's the first thing you do. So for example, I have a Citibank card with 0% financing right now that has a $4,110 balance on it. That's what you write down. It's that simple. And just do that for each debt. Don't worry about putting it in largest to smallest, all that stuff. Just get it down. Like look at it, say, oh my goodness, this is where I'm at, right? The second thing is you need to track your spending. So after you track your spending, how can you do that? There's a whole bunch of different ways. So some people love the analog method, which is, you basically write it down. I love the Budget Mom. I am actually Dave Ramsey trusted. So I actually do taxes for people, and I'm also a financial coach. So we use different tools to make different things happen, right? So you can use the Every Dollar app, which the Every Dollar app is, hold on. I was trying to figure out how much it was. I just looked it up. It's $80 a month, and then it's $12.99 per month. That one allows you to do a budget, and then it actually allows you to basically, figure out from there, where everything needs to go. It's good because you need a good 30 days in order to figure out where all your money goes. So if you're starting this in January, start January 1st to the end of the month. Where is your money going? Figure it out. There's another one too called mint.com that's free. You can use that one. That one actually just will tell you where everything's at, which is good, right? The second one that I personally use right now is Truebill, which is now Rocket Money. They're not endorsing me for this, nothing. I absolutely love it because I can connect it and I can have as many budget categories as I want. Some of the other ones you're going to notice that you can only have 10, you can only have 20, you can only have this. It's really kind of, not good. Then there's another one called Personal Capital. Again, this one is if you are really already kind of that nerd like me, you really want to get in the weeds. It does track other things like your actual investments, what you have in Robinhood or Webull or any of those things. It would actually track that for you. That one's free. but it is kind of cumbersome. It works the best on desktop. They do have a mobile app version, but I have not heard great things about the mobile app version as of today. I'm sure they're in the works of trying to get some of the kinks worked out of that. And then there is You Need a Budget. It's YNAB. Now, this one here, they give you 34 days free, so you can get through that 30 days for free to see kind of where it's at, and they give you a budget. This one is app and desktop. I will tell you the desktop is really robust. I mean, you can really dig deep into the sucker, make your little Alice in Wonderland head go explode. But if that's you and you like that kind of thing, it's a great, people that use this You Need a Budget, they are completely on board with it. That one right now is $99 a year or $14.99 a month. I am not a big one to tell you, hey, go spend money on this kind of stuff. But if it's going to help you in the long run to actually help you pay off debt, then I am all for it, okay? Just, you could pay for that with, like, let's just be honest, two runs of Starbucks right now, right? Because it's like $7.50 to get a coffee at Starbucks. So you could do that with 2 runs of Starbucks. You could have a budgeting app that would work for you. Okay, the third thing you need to do is you need a need and versus want to spend. So need to spend and want to spend. These are where I call about the 4 walls. So the 4 walls are food, housing, insurance, and car transportation. So you need to make sure that your food is covered, right? Your housing is covered with utilities. Your insurance, your health insurance is covered because that's important, because if you're sick, then that doesn't help you either. And then also your transportation, because if you don't have a car or you don't have transportation, you can't get to work. So there's all these things. Or if you have a remote job, then that's great. Then you don't have to worry about transportation. You can just use the public transportation to go get your food. Or if it's super cold, like here where I'm at in Michiana, it's cold every single day. So right now, I don't think you want to be walking to the store right now. But just kind of think of that and then do what you need to do to cut everything else. Like, look at it as, is this something I need or is this something I want? Like, Starbucks coffee is something you want. Going out to eat is something you want. If you're serious about getting out of debt, you're going to cut some things. I'm not saying completely stop living your life. I'm just saying you need to cut back, like, on certain things. And some of you might need to cut back more than others. Everybody's on a different journey here. It's all different. Okay, the fourth thing that you need to do is, after you've gone through your budget, you need to go back through it and remove even more wants in your spending budget. Basically, if these things are costing you a ton of money, then like certain things, like you're like, oh my goodness, I like one of my clients actually looked and saw how much she spent at Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts last month, and it wasn't because it was December. Like, this is what she normally does. She was floored. It was like $500 and something. And I'm like, wow, that could have been a car payment, for a new car, or that could have been, you could have cut some debt down, or you could have done this, or you could have done that. She's like, you're right. I said, or you could just figure out how to make coffee from home. You could have bought an espresso machine literally in 2 months with the amount of coffee that you went for Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. She agreed. So that has been cut out. And it's also given her a new skill too, because she's been searching Pinterest now for like creamers, homemade creamers, things that she can do from home. It's going to cost her a little bit more out of pocket up front, but it's not going to nearly cost her the $500 that she has been paying every month for Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. The other thing is that number 5, you might want to consider debt consolidation. Now, I don't agree with this one 100% all the time, but sometimes it makes sense, right? You have to get into a habit of that debt needs to get paid off. I'm not talking about your 2.5% house mortgage loan. I'm not talking about your HELOC that you have sitting at a comfortable 3% or something. What I'm talking about is that consumer high debt, consumer spending. Basically, your Victoria's Secrets, your Lowe's, your Best Buy, your Citibank, your American Express, your needless markup, all this stuff. That's what I'm telling you to look at. Like, that there is where the consolidation debt loan could actually make sense for you. But you need to get rid of the habit, and that is the biggest thing. And a lot of this times, like me, because I'm a yo-yo debt dieter, a lot of this stuff came from your childhood. A lot of this stuff, like, you didn't realize. Like, I am just realizing now that some of these things that I have, like, done for 40 years is because of, my parents, like, how they felt about debt. My parents had no debt the whole entire time they were alive. Like, or I shouldn't say they were alive. They're still alive. But they had no debt. They never really had debt. And, they paid off their house like within 10 years, like, of buying it. So they have been living Dave Ramsey, but we never were taught anything like that because money was not talked about. My parents were more of a, we're going to show you what to do and then you can do it. But I never learned because my mom never sat down with me and said, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how much money we have coming in and going out. So a lot of this, I'm not blaming her. This is not blame. This is totally 100% my accountability. But when you look at things that you were like, oh my goodness, that came from this, it's kind of scary. So I would tell you, if you're going to do a consolidation loan, really think about it before you do it. Okay. So number 7, this is the last thing. Oh no, I'm sorry. Number 6, pay off the debt, right? We're going to pay off the debt. So now there's 2 schools of thought. There's snowball and avalanche. And I actually have a video on here from 6 months ago that I talk about that in detail. And so, whether or not you are a Dave Ramsey fan and you love the debt snowball, which I tell people, if you don't have a habit, you need to do the debt snowball because you need to feel that gratification of paying it off and knowing what you're doing. And some people will say, but Sarah, I don't want to pay all that interest. You know what? You already been paying that interest for 3 months, girlfriend, boyfriend. Like, what's another couple months? Like, seriously, in order to get the habit into play, right? So in order to get your habit done and make sure that you're disciplined about this debt, you need to look at it and you need to go through it. And so I don't care which method you use, and I will link in the notes a calculator that you can, like, basically type in your stuff and then it'll tell you which is best for you. But I think that you just need to do it, right? And number 7, let's say you go through all of this, you cut out all your wants, you're like, Sarah, I just have my 4 walls, and it's still not enough. You might want to pick up a side hustle. You might need to pick up a second job. You might have to move jobs. I moved from Illinois to where I'm at currently because of the fact that it just got too expensive to live in the city of Chicago. So it was not because I wanted to, but I left because it was more economical for me to move, and we've saved a lot of money and we're able to pay off more debt because of that. I mean, when we first came here, we had a lot of debt, guys, and we're just knocking it down slowly but surely. And I'm hoping that 2023 is the year for us, that it's completely gone. But, you have to look at it from that standpoint of, I might have to take a second job. I might have to go take that, like, figure out something to do for cash. I might have to do that. So, hey, Instacart it, DoorDash it. I did Instacart. I love Instacart. My husband thinks I'm crazy. I go out and do Instacart every couple weeks or so just to have something different that I'm doing, but I'm still making money at it. And I'm not really, I go do 1 or 2 runs. I think it's fun because I don't have to do it every day, right? Like, it's something I have to do that I do for giggles. But anyway, so just make sure that you guys are having enough put in there. After you get your budget done and you realize that you just don't have enough to pay off this debt, then yeah, it's time to go to the drawing board, and it's just, you just got to do what you got to do. Okay. And above all, this isn't a step. This is life here. Consistency. We are all guilty of not being consistent at one point in time or another, right? I'll never do that again. I'm not going to do this again. Next Tuesday, what are we doing? We're doing the same thing we did last Thursday, right? So if you are not consistent, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. I have noticed that. I was super consistent with paying off debt June, July, August, September, October. And then October, I kind of lost my lost my cuckoo marbles. November, I was sick the whole entire month. December, again, sick the whole entire month pretty much. If you look back at my videos, you can tell I'm like, I have no voice, nothing. So, so just look at it from that standpoint, okay? All right, my next video is going to be a lot shorter. I'm just going to go over how much debt I actually have and what we're going to do to get rid of it. Okay? All right. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.